what's going on? I am out for a little bit of a car camping adventure today. The last video I was out at Montage Track to Pinchot State Forest. The trip I was planning on doing there last week got rained out, and it was kind of a car camping overlanding kind of thing, but I got rained really hard and those roads were already washed out, so I didn't go in there. I'm just getting to Frances Slocum State Park right now. I rented a campsite for tonight and I'm gonna try a different setup. I've said a couple times this year I want to try some different things, and this is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna stop here at the park office, get my my permit if it's not already up at the campsite, and then I will see you at the campsite and we'll get this set up and I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so here's what I'm going to be using for tonight. I will literally be car camping. I'm going to be using my new bare bones hammock mount from, well, Mclean Metalworks. So it's from Mclean Metalworks, but they've actually rebranded their hammock stuff to Adventure Hammock Systems. So this cost me about... it was a little over 300 bucks. I got the additional, they call them awning poles, but it's for a tarp. It's like a riser for the tarp. And this is the XL version. So it's got your 4 main arms that you normally have, and then 2 extensions for a 11-foot hammock. So I've been messing around with it a little bit over the past couple weeks, just trying to get used to it. But you just basically put it right into your trailer hitch and you set up. So the one thing that doesn't come with it is a hitch pin. So I picked this up just to hold it in there, and it sets up real easy. So let's get to it. The long poles have just like a straight pole like this. It's the same on either end. And then there's a pole, it's a little smaller. It's got eyelets on one side, like that. And then a collar at the other. So the first one you put in is the straight pole, the bigger one. And if you're just using a short hammock, you can just throw the collared one in. But if you're gonna use a longer hammock, you throw one of these extensions on. And then lastly, now if I was somewhere where it wasn't a campground, I wouldn't even use a tarp, but I'll throw a tarp up for privacy. At the end of this piece, there's these holes. There's little plastic caps that come with it. You just pop those out, you slide these in. I don't know if you can see this little collar right here. This is on there pretty tight, but it allows you to adjust the height of this. Alright, I'll grab my hammock, we'll get this set up. Alright, so I'm going to try to use my coyote pack. This is 11 feet, but I did notice in my tests that it was maybe 3 inches too long with the continuous loops I was using. They were standard 8-inch continuous loops. They seem to be a little bit too long with the ridge line that I use for this hammock. So I went and made some 5-inch continuous loops. Let me see how this works out. Yeah, there's still a little too much slack. It still works, but it was hanging a little too low. I do have a 10-foot hammock with me that I'll be able to use. So we'll try it with this first. Perfect. So, like I said, I'll show you on the side, I made shorter continuous loops. There might be a little too short, but it works fine. It's really tight with no weight in it, but the frame wants to spring back a little bit. But once I get in it, it hangs just fine. It's up off the ground, and I don't touch the tire at all. So this will work out just fine. I'm going to use my summer quilts, but before I grab those, I'm going to throw the tarp on, because I got to figure out a way to set it up on the Jeep. And I don't have much light. This will be fun. So if you've got D-rings, they'll fit right on these. I just have some gross grain loops with these adjusters on there, and it fits in there just fine too. So either way works. I don't need the tie outs for the side, but I'm going to use a combination of the racks and some stakes out here to set this up. So what I'm going to do for these tie outs is I was going to try to hook them onto the bumper here, but there's not enough of a lip there to grab onto. But if I drop it down in the spokes, I can hook around there, tighten this down. Beautiful. You loosen it a little bit. There we go. So just using the Jeep as my tie-out points. And I don't think I'll need another one up top. If I needed to, I could take that shock cord and bring it up here. But I think it'll be fine. I could go up and over this too, but it's not supposed to rain tonight. Okay, so I just have to set up the quilts, but that's not a big deal. Like I said, tarp isn't perfect. I'm not expecting any rain, so I don't care. This is more for privacy than anything else, since it is a campground. I have no neighbors right now on either side. I do have one over here, so that's why I picked this site. Nice thing about the Pennsylvania State Parks is you use Reserve America, so you can look and see. That's not a guarantee that somebody won't reserve a site after you, but I reserved this last night, so kind of had a pretty good idea. And considering 4th of July is coming up, pretty surprised it's this quiet here. It is definitely unique looking. That is definitely unique. I've set this tarp up in a lot of unique configurations. This one's the first. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm very excited about this. I was out for a little hike on Sunday, and I had the rack in the back, or the mount in the back of the Jeep, and I set it up and kind of hung out and tested it. I knew the 10-foot would fit on there, but like I said, the 11-foot, it's the ridge line I use, I believe. It'll work. It just puts a lot of slack in the ridge line. So I added those shorter continuous loops, and it's fine. There's still a little slack when I'm sitting in it, but when I lay down, it straightens right out. There is a lot of spring to this, but this is all right. 7:30. I got here late. 7:30. This is my view out of the hammock, so that's pretty nice. Got some firewood. I got to cook some dinner. I might take a walk down to the lake first. There's a squirrel back here and a deer that ranger drove up. There's like a auxiliary lot up here, and he went up there just checking out the park, and he scared up a deer. And I don't know if the two came through on the camera when I was coming in, but there's two deer right when I left the park office, and then as I was coming down the campground road, there was a groundhog. Good sign. I'm excited. I haven't done a state park camp, like anything like this, like a campground camp, since I think Indian Garden Campground in the Grand Canyon. And then before that, the last state park I camped in had to be Stone Mountain, when we all went down and saw Burnwood Bushcraft down in North Carolina. I think this is the last time I stayed in the state park. That was a couple of years ago. So this is different, but different good. Look, that sun's setting. I'll be able to see the sunset. I won't see the sunrise. And I was thinking about bringing a kayak, but I like to either kayak late or early, especially in the summer when it's really hot, like it's supposed to be the next couple of days, just so I don't get sunburned. But I didn't want to leave the kayak down at the launch, and in order to go kayaking, I'd have to break down camp just to drive out here. So I want to stay. I'm going to get up relatively early, but I'm going to not break down early. I have until 3 o'clock to get out of here. I might just break down, go for a hike, or stay set up and go for a hike, because there's trails that connect right to the campground. So let me get my quilts on, and maybe we'll go for a little walk. This is going to be interesting. Oh, and let me show you real quick while there's light. I'll get in, and even with the Coyote pack, which is 11 feet long and 71 inches wide, and I get in and all situated here, and I'm laid crossways. I got a good angle going. I'm not in danger of hitting that tire. I thought I might, but no. That rack, trying to keep the bugs out. That rack, or the mount, does pretty good. Very cool. All right, let me get my quilts on, get the bugs out of here, and Maybe I'll go for a little walk down to the lake. And I do have a water pump right next to camp, which is nice. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro. But I brought my my Sawyer. I will filter that. Even though it's potable water, I'll still filter it. All right, that little Duraflame fire starter, that did a really good job. I just lit that up and let it sit for a couple minutes. I mean, this is kiln dried store-bought wood, so it doesn't really surprise me. But I bought some hot dogs. I'm gonna use my little granddad's grill here from Light My Fire that I've been using for years. It's perfect for cooking up dogs and burgers and bratwursts and all kinds of stuff. You just find a stick in the woods, use it as a handle, and put your food over the fire, cook it up. I'm starving. I haven't eaten since about noon. It's now like 8:30, 8:45. And if you're wondering what all the little specks of light are, if you've never seen a firefly before, those are fireflies. So, I'm guessing you can hear all the frogs behind me. I hope I'm even looking at the camera. I'm blinded by this flashlight. I absolutely love backpacking. It is my preferred way of camping. But I car camped for so long in state parks. And I really miss being able to do stuff like this. I got the camera out doing some astrophotography. I just walked out here to the edge of the lake. There's frogs all around me. There's fish right in front of me jumping up out of the water. The GoPro won't pick up the stars. But the clouds are starting to roll off, and it's nice out. Alright, it is about 10 of 11 in the hammock. It's getting a little buggy out. More than fireflies. So, gonna call it a night. Gotta get up early tomorrow. I think I'm gonna set my alarm for like 5. And get up and maybe go watch the sunrise over the lake. That'll be cool. And I'll let you know how things go in the Bones XL Hammock Mount here. So far, so good. Got a real comfortable lay. It is a little weird being right next to the car, but when I'm sleeping, I won't know. Alright. And get some sleep. See you in the morning. Well, good morning. The Mclean Metalworks Adventure Hammock Systems Bones XL Hammock Mount did awesome. This is really comfortable. Didn't have any issues all night. I stayed probably even as wide out as I want to push that. Still a couple inches from that tire, so that's not an issue at all. Oh, I gotta come up with a better solution for the tarp. I think it worked. It worked good for privacy. If it rained, that would have pulled up back here, but I could have pulled this side down, and it would have been okay. I think it would have been okay. Oh man. So I'm 95% sure that I got sniffed by a bear last night. It's about 2:15. I woke up to the sound of something moving around outside the hammock. Nothing new. As a backpacker, I'm used to it. You hear all kinds of raccoons and possums and porcupines and deer and sometimes bear and coyotes and all kinds of stuff walk around when you're out in the backcountry. But this bear did not care. I heard it walking up the side, woke me up, and I didn't know what it was at first. Just heard something moving, and it only took about 3 steps, and it was right here, and I could hear it sniffing, and it wasn't like a dog. It was like a very slow, methodical, like. And kind of opened my eyes for a second. What is that? And then it got right up to my shoulder. It sniffed me. It's like, oh, and I lifted my head and it backed it up a little bit. And it walked off into the woods behind me here. And it, I think it came back a little while later just to see if I was still here. I heard something come walking down. I just kind of did one of these and it turned around and walked away. It didn't run. It wasn't growling or anything like that. It was just curious. And the only thing that bothered me was right after I heard that. I don't know what it was. I think it was the bear. I think, but it could have been either. You hear the frogs. Is that red squirrel back? I was getting yelled at by a red squirrel. Oh, it's the zipper pull on the side of the hammock. I don't know if it was frogs down in the lake that were just in the right distance away and in the right sync with each other, or if maybe the bathroom up in the next loop has like a weird fan or something. But it was really faint and it sounded like panting. And when a bear's doing that, that's not good. So I kind of got out and I shined the flashlight around. I didn't see him, but I didn't hear that noise anymore. So I don't know what that was. It could have been something else completely. But that concerned me a little bit because it's usually when they're aggravated, they start to pant like that. But he wasn't. I didn't see him. I didn't see the bear. But I definitely heard him sniff my shoulder. I got up at 5 and I took a walk down to the lake and I came back up this way. I hiked around a little bit and I got to camp about 7 o'clock or so, 7:15, and I just got back in the hammock and took a little nap. It's about 9 o'clock now, so I don't have any breakfast with me. So I might just break down and call it a day. Well, at least here. Go get breakfast and I got some hammocks to make and stuff like that, so I can go do that. Oh, I don't want to have hot dogs for breakfast. I thought about it. I don't want to start a fire just to have breakfast and leave. So that fire pit's nice. It's out and cold the way it should be. I think it'll break down. Let me decide that and I'll let you know. All broken down. Doesn't take long at all. So all I got left to do is grab my permit out of here. Come on. There we go. And I'm done. Make sure there's nothing up here. That fire pit was cold, but I put some water on there anyway, just to make sure. It is out, and I've got nothing here. There was a couple of pieces of paper that were here. I picked those up, and I didn't even notice that somebody dumped their charcoal there. Really? On the leaves? Hope it was cold. Really nice campsite. This campground is really nice. Just real quick, like this has got 2 spots for this campsite. This campsite's got 2 spots. So these are like RV sites. But this one over here, or maybe not RV sites, but you could have a small RV in them. This one here next to me, these are just tent sites. So these are a lot smaller. I was actually thinking about getting one of these, but I knew there's people over in this one. They're already gone. But this is just got the one site, one parking spot. I could very easily have backed in here and set up. It would have worked. And if that didn't work, there's plenty of trees in the site for a hammock. Really nice campground. Every time I've been here, it's been quiet, well maintained. The buildings are a little older, but they're still clean and maintained. Campsites are always nice. Like that my picnic table is brand new, so that was just fixed recently. Very nice. Yeah, if you're in Northeast PA and you're looking for a state park campground, I definitely suggest Frances Slocum. Really, really nice. Always had a good time here. But that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Something a little bit different. That mount is awesome. I mean, there's options here for trees if I didn't have that to hang a hammock. And I could always use a tent. I mean, that wouldn't kill me, but it's so nice sleeping in a hammock. This just opens up a lot of possibilities to places where I might have to go to ground if I didn't have that mount. So I'm very happy with it. Hope you guys like it. I'll put the links to everything down in the bottom. They are made in the US. I think they're made in Oregon, and they're pretty cool. So, and check out what else I got. That is not a paid advertisement either. I paid for that with my own money because I like it. So I'm gonna get some breakfast because I'm in like a calorie tired here. My brain is just other places. So I'm gonna get going, go get some food, some coffee, and then go find something to do. See you in the next.